So hello once again friends. Here we are going to talk about our next chapter in botany studies. Here we are going to explain about anatomy concept. So anatomy deals with the internal part study of particular plant. You have why I am calling it as an internal part study of plant, because in plant sciences where you can do a section study particular plant, the photograph I have presented on screen, where we can observe that plant externally. That external observation study comes under morphology. But when it comes to find out what kind of tissue arrangement is present inside that plant, comes under the anatomy. Anatomy also included in animal study, where they perform dissection of plant body, where they study various organ present in that animal. But in case of plants, where if you want to find out what is present inside this plant, you have to perform a section study. The sections are of various type. For example, transverse section, where we can do a perpendicular section of the plant. The section should be very thin, which can be observable in a microscope. So microscope, what I have presented here, is a compound type of microscope. In that you have to place one particular slide, and in that slide you have to put the section whatever you have taken with the help of sharp blade. Once you take section such as transverse section, you will be able to find the photograph I have presented here, the image which is showing the internal organization of plant. Why we are studying this? So anatomy definition, we can say it is the study of gross internal structure, which include various different types of tissue organization in that plant body. So anatomy can be studied with respect to organ. So we have various organs in plant such as leaf, root. These organs are made up of tissues. You must have heard this word tissue. So tissue is what? Tissue is made up of similar functioning cells. So cells comes together to create this tissue. Tissue comes together to create this organ. So cell of each organ varies from each other. You have to remember this. The leaf is organ, and cells in that leaf should be different from the cells of the root. So cells present inside root have different function, and cells present inside this leaf have different function. According to the function of this organ, those types of cells are present in that organ. So these organs are made up of from the tissues, and tissues are made up from the cell. But these cells differs organ to organ. You will never find similar type of cell from the root to the leaf of the plant. Similar to the animal also, you will have different type of cell in heart tissue, you will have different type of cell in brain tissue. Likewise, you will have different type of cell in different types of organs such as root and leaves I have highlighted here. There are various organs. You have fruit also, you have stem also, you have flower. So according to the organ, cell type will be vary. But question is, why we are studying this anatomy is the first question. So we will be highlighting the importance of anatomy. Importance of anatomy. Why we are studying this? So I will wipe out this board. So okay, I have written here importance of anatomy. After studying the anatomy in brief, the importance of anatomy means what? Why we should study anatomy? What benefits we will have after studying anatomy? Why we should study anatomy? Because with the help of anatomy, it will be very easy to taxonomy study. Why we should study anatomy? For taxonomic study. So first of all, you should understand what do you mean by a taxonomy. So every botany or biology student must have understood that Taxonomy nothing but the identification, classification and nomenclature of particular organism. So whatever plants are around us have name. That name is always in binomial system of classification. What do you mean by binomial? Binomial means you have genus name followed by species name. Always remember, the genus name starts with the capital word and species name remains, or every letter will remain in small letter. Genus is highlighted by one underline and species name is highlighted by one underline. For example, aloe vera is a botanical name where we have genus name and species name. Here A is capital, rest of the letters are small. So this is a taxonomy where we generally use name. Nomenclature means giving name. Classification means what? We have to classify that particular plant according to kingdom, class, order, family, genus, species. That is classification. And identification means what? Yes, you know that it is plant, but it belongs to the dicot, particular family and particular genus and species. So included in taxonomy, this anatomy will help us in taxonomic classification. Here anatomy where you can take transverse section, after that you can notice the internal feature. According to the feature you can classify particular plant species. So it was the first benefit of studying anatomy. Now we will be moving toward the second benefit. Okay, after wiping out, I will be writing the second benefit of anatomy in physiology. Study. So anatomy can be useful for physiological studies. First of all, you have to understand what do you mean by physiology. So physiology deals with the various biochemical reaction where one molecule is converted into the other molecule which is useful for a particular organism to survive. So physiology includes such as osmosis. So how osmosis takes place? Osmosis means what? From higher concentration to lower concentration. Molecules are moving through a particular semi-permeable membrane. So this is general definition. In order to talk with respect to our biological field, here you have a cell. From that cell, water is moving out or water is moving in through the plasma membrane. That plasma membrane can be considered as semi-permeable membrane. Here I just want to tell you that this anatomical study will be helpful for such physiological concept understanding. Likewise, osmosis, we have photosynthesis. And everyone knows that photosynthesis takes place by the plant where chlorophyll pigments are present. Inside the chloroplast organelle where chlorophyll are present in thylakoid membrane, I have presented here. How we come to know this? Because of anatomy study. So anatomy should be very clear when you are going to study plant physiology. So it was the second application of anatomy. We will be moving to the third application. So after looking at two applications, third application of anatomy is understanding of ecological. Ecological interpretation. So what do you mean by ecological interpretation is the question. Ecological interpretation is very easy concept where you have plants on this planet Earth, as I have highlighted on this image. We have various regions on Earth such as polar region, equator region, again polar region, tropical region, temperate region. So all these regions shows variation in their atmosphere, variation in ecosystem. According to the ecosystem, or you in simple word you can say according to the external environment, plant do show adaptation to live in that particular area. So area where plant lives is called as habitat. Sorry. The plant where lives, that area is habitat. Here I can write area where plant lives. According to the area, plant shows some adaptation. So here we have various areas such as xerophytic area, means where very high temperature environment, very less water. According to the environmental condition, to live in such harsh environmental condition, plant require to adapt, and for performing adaptation, the anatomy get changes. When you see hydrophytic plant, hydrophytic means what? When plant directly lives inside water, plenty amount of water is there. This photograph is showing you. According to the environment, the plant has shown some adaptation to live in that water. You cannot put directly xerophytic plant into the water, that plant will definitely die. You cannot put hydrophytic plant to the xerophytic area, definitely that plant is going to die, because that plant has been adapted to particular location, and if you change the location for that plant will die. Likewise, you have halophyte. Halophyte means what? Where plant generally grows in salt water. Salt water area means sea water area, such as mangroves plant I have highlighted here. Those plants are very smart and capable to survive in salt water also. No other plant can live in salt water. To live in such area, plant shows some modification. And normal plant where surrounding to us are mesophytic plant. So moderate amount of water, moderate amount of light, moderate amount of temperature is required to growth, and plant happily grow there. But if you change the location for that plant, if you take mesophytic plant, for example mango plant, to the xerophytic area, that plant will definitely going to die. So according to the environment, plant shows some anatomical features. By taking anatomical study or doing anatomical study, you can definitely highlight that importance of anatomy in ecological interpretation, that is interpretation. And last but not least, that anatomy study definitely helps in pharmacognosy. The word is very big, but meaning is very simple. Pharmacognosy deals with the study of medicinal importance of plant. So when you are willing to find out particular plant's medicinal importance in order to treat many diseases, many plants out there such as tulsi, aloe vera are responsible for cure many diseases. Such plants have potential to cure diseases. By doing anatomical study, you will be able to master, to identify the importance of particular plant in pharmacognosy concept. With this I will stop here. We will meet in next lecture with new concepts. Thank you.